Hi guys, welcome again on the channel. In this video I'd like to show you how to draft a pattern for this milkmaid dress you see me wearing. It can be worn on the shoulder and off the shoulder like this. If this video is what you would like to see, let's get into it. My name is Motunrayo, and in case you don't know how to draft a basic bodice and transfer it to a fresh pattern, I linked up the video in the description box. Go check it out. So here we have our basic bodice which we have transferred previously, and the first thing I want to do on it is come up the chest line by 2 inches, and I'll be connecting that to the front width. I want a kind of scoop neckline in front of this dress, so it's going to be taking this shape. I came up by 2 inches because I do not want my cleavage to be too revealing. You can do 1.5 or 1 if you so choose. We are going to be dividing our shoulder line into 2, just like you see me do. We place our ruler connecting the apex, or we note that point on our new neckline. Then we bring the back piece over it and we trace out where the new shoulder would stop. We cut out this front part, which upper part of the front, which we do not need anymore. Then we connect that new neckline point to our apex, also known as the bust point. So what I'm doing now is just tracing the lines out with my marker so that you all can see it clearly. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to open up this new line so as to be able to transfer this side dart. So we've been able to close this side dart right now, and this area between the under bust and the waistline will now be our band. Let's just highlight that so that we can see it clearly. Just before we cut the band, let's just label and include our grain line so that we do not get confused. And then we are also going to be tightening the under bust a little bit so that we can get a good grip in that area. Let's connect that to the new line which we drew from the bust point to that new line on the under bust, and then we've been able to create our bust tightening. We are going to close this right now, this dart area, since we don't need it on the band anymore. So let's keep this aside and work on this other pattern. This area is going to be the bust area, so we are going to be slashing and spreading this just so we can create that ruched effect on the front of the dress. I'm labeling this number 1 to 6. I'm also going to be indicating with an arrow the area that is going to be the neckline, so that when we start placing it on the fabric to cut, we won't just get confused. We're going to be taking out this area when we cut because it's the dart excess. We don't really need it. We're going to be taking out the dart excess. You should take out the dart excess. On the back pattern, I came down from that back width point by 0.5, and on this line I'm going up by 2.5 inches. I connect the line just like you see me do, and we're going to be cutting off this upper part because we do not need it anymore. And that's for the pattern. I'm going to start the cutting of the fabric from the flared part of the skirt. I'm going ahead to fold my fabric into 4, and my waist circumference is 31 inches plus 2 inches for the zipper allowance. That's 33 divided by 6.28, and that's 5.25. I'm going into the fabric marking 5.25 on this 90 degrees angle. So from this new point, I'm going to be measuring my skirt length. I want my skirt length to be 25 inches. So I'm going to be measuring 25 inches from this new point. I'm sorry it almost went out of focus, but I'm going to be measuring 25 inches from that new point all around, all through. So I'm going to be following that same circle at the top to measure 25 inches all around. If you would like to see a video on how to make a circled skirt, please do let me know in the comments. I would be glad to do it. If you have enjoyed this video so far, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload new video. Give this video a thumbs up to also like, share with your friends also. Thank you. So here we are cutting up the 25 inches which we have marked for our skirt length, and this is it. We are going to be cutting up this top now, which is our waist circumference. We cut that up and we are going to be slashing up one of the sides, and that will be our zipper end for the skirts. Alright, so I'm going ahead to fold our fabric into two so that we can start placing all of our patterns on it. And I'm going to be starting with the back pattern. After placing it on it like this, ensure that you have enough on that end for your zipper allowance. I'm going to be pinning in place like this, and on this lower part I also have about half an inch which I will be needing as my seam allowance. So I'll go ahead right now to insert all of the seam allowances that we need for the side and also for every area around the back pattern. I'm adding half an inch on the neckline and the armhole area, and on the side seam I'm going to be adding 1 inch seam allowance. I'm also adding 1 inch zipper allowance to that center back part. I'm going to be drawing the lines out with my chalk, after which we are going to be cutting this out. Right now I'm going to be cutting my band on fold, placing the center front on fold and adding half-inch seam allowances at the top and the bottom, but for the side it's going to be 1 inch seam allowance. I'm just going to be marking a straight line on this fabric right now so that I can place my bust pattern right on that straight line. So here I am, I'm pinning all of it in place. We label them into 6 parts the other time with a distance of 1 inch. I'm going to be spreading them all 1 inch in between all of them. Please don't forget that your fabric has to be on fold while you are doing this, because the center front has to be on fold. After you have placed them all on it like this, you're going to be adding half an inch seam allowances on the top, that's the neckline, and the bottom, which is going to be connected to the skirt. But for the side seam, we're going to be adding 1 inch. The neckline, the armhole is going to be half an inch also, but only the side seam will be 1 inch. I'll go ahead to cut right now, and this is the part where we are going to be gathering for the ruchness. Now I'm picking up the rest of the fabric, and with the entire length that is remaining, I'm going to be folding into 4 like this to cut my sleeve. The 2 folded end facing me, I'm going to be placing my sleeve measurement. I want the sleeve to be about 20 inches including the fall, so we are going to be cutting 25 inches on the sleeve, so that by the time I wear it and I pull the elastic band up, it's going to create that fall effect. By the time you sew it, you will understand much better. So I'm cutting at that 25 inches length, and this is just it for the sleeve. The next thing we are going to be doing now, we're going to be picking up our pattern so that we can create a sort of armhole around that sleeve. So on that top end, we are going to be placing our pattern on it just like you see me do, and we are going to be using that to create the armhole. So on this remaining top part, we are just going to be adding elastic and Also to the hemline we'll add elastic. I'm just slashing open this other end. I'm going to be bringing in this fabric which I want to use as my lining, and I'm going to be placing all of the pattern that I have cut on them. The lining on the front is going to be the guide for that bust part for the richness. So I'm going ahead to join all of the pieces together into the center front and the side front, and I'm going to be cutting this bust part like this, adding half-inch seam allowances around it, and on the side I'm going to be adding 1 inch seam allowance just like I did on the fabric. You can also cut this before you slash that bust part. Before you slash it, you can cut your lining first if you choose to. But if you already slashed it like me, I didn't remember to cut the lining first, you can still join it together maybe with your sellotape or something, and then you cut the lining. So with a seam allowance of 1/2 inch, I'm cutting out right now, and don't forget I said on the side is going to be 1 inch seam allowance. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be going ahead to cut this exact for the other pattern left. It's only these ones that need allowance. For the other pattern, we have already added our allowance, so we are just going to be cutting the exact same thing that is on the fabric, on the lining also. And that's it. We've been able to cut all the patterns that we need for this milkmaid dress. I feel that this video is already too long, so I might have to share the sewing tutorial in another video. And here is all of the pattern that we need, including the skirt piece. I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.